Factsverse presents. When passengers refused to make room for a wheelchair, the bus driver dealt out the perfect punishment. When a person is in a wheelchair, it's up to everybody to help out a bit. When using a public bathroom, you should use a regular stall so that the handicap stall is always open for somebody who really needs it. When parking in a public lot, the same thing goes. You avoid using the handicap spot so that somebody who truly is handicapped can have it. There are some people who do these things, and then there are those who don't. There was a day in Paris when the passengers refused to make room for a wheelchair. You won't believe what the bus driver did. First, help us out by clicking that like button, and also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. The bus driver in our story, he was following his usual route around the city of Paris. A wheelchair user named François Lebert attempted to board the bus, and the passengers didn't move to allow him to do it. If you've ever seen anybody in a wheelchair, you know it's not really easy to get around in one. Public transportation is a great option for most people, but for some, things just don't work out because not everybody is as cordial as they should be. And for François, getting around in his wheelchair, that usually wasn't an issue until this day. François suffers from multiple sclerosis, which is an autoimmune condition that is progressive, and in time it makes it impossible for the sufferers of it to walk. This condition affects over 2 million people around the world. Other issues that sufferers have are problems with sight and strength. Muscle weakness and numbness are also common. On October 18th of 2018, François and his brother were in the French suburb of Porte-de-Clichy, which is located just outside the center of Paris. The two were waiting for a bus, expecting to get a seat and be on their way when finally a bus arrived. François' condition limited his travel, but he was always able to find some room on a bus. In most cases, the people who were on the bus would be more than willing to move so that François could find a place to sit. When the bus arrived and François attempted to get on, the other passengers were hostile towards him. The driver placed the access ramp so that François could get on the bus, and even though he did this, the passengers refused to move and give him any space at all where he would need to park his chair. When the bus driver saw how rotten those passengers were being, he decided to do something about it. He stood up and said, "Terminus! Everybody off the bus!" The driver realized that he had to do something to teach the passengers a lesson for not moving. After the bus driver made his announcement, he walked over to François and told him that he and his brother were more than welcome to stay on the bus. The other passengers could stand on the side of the road and wait for the next one. When the passengers had all left the bus, the driver went over to talk to François and his brother. He explained that any one of those people could find themselves in a wheelchair someday, and because of that, they should be showing kindness to those who already are in a wheelchair. The driver didn't care that he was setting his schedule way back to get the passengers off the bus. Nobody in his family was in a wheelchair, and neither was he, yet at least. The story was shared on Twitter by an account which translates to the name Accessibility for All. The group is a network that fights for the rights of disabled people in France, and it wasn't long before the post went viral and people were praising the actions of this bus driver. If everybody cared for the disabled the way that this bus driver did, well, this world would be a much better place. In only a few days, the post received 13,000 likes, and it was retweeted over 5,000 times. Sadly, not every bus driver is so kind. A young boy in a wheelchair was traveling with his mother and attempted to get on a bus. The driver told the mother that there wasn't any room for her son on the bus and refused to allow them on. The mother called the bus company, and the driver wasn't fired. Instead, he had to attend counseling, which did not make the mother happy. All bus drivers and passengers, they should understand the struggles of being in a wheelchair, and they should always make room. Subscribe for more.